Julian Chua and Chris Van Heerden. Julian being the trainer of Chris Van Heerden. Obviously, Chris, it's no surprise you sparred Conor McGregor. Can you talk to us what your thoughts were on the news that they dropped the glove from 10 ounce to 8 ounce in the fight?
You know, surprisingly, it was Mayweather that I believe pushed forward to be changed from 10 to 8. So that tells me that Mayweather really wants to hurt Conor. He really wants to put a point down and knock Conor McGregor out. That's why they pushed the fight. I'm surprised that they've changed the rules, because we all know the rules is 147 is 8 ounces and 154 is 10 ounces. And I was surprised that the commission actually changed it and allowed it to happen. But this just tells me that Floyd Mayweather's confidence in knocking out or stopping Conor McGregor is right up there.
Who does this benefit? Who does this favor?
Mayweather's used to it. Mayweather's fought with 8 ounce gloves for so long. I think it benefits Mayweather because he's going to fight at 154, and so he's going to come in a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, a little bit stronger than he used to come in at 146. And with 8 ounce gloves, we might see a knockout.
It benefits Floyd, in my opinion, completely, because I don't think Conor McGregor is going to land a punch on Floyd Mayweather. So the only person who's gonna, from my thoughts, the only person who's gonna be landing is Floyd Mayweather. And if he's the only one landing, 8 ounce gloves favors the guy who's the one actually hitting.
So
something very interesting that came up that I've heard Floyd actually said. They asked him about would Conor McGregor be able to land on him, and he said yes. I promise you Conor McGregor is going to land on me. The reason why is he said, I am telling you all right now that I am not running away from Conor. I'm going to pursue this fight. I'm going to go head on with him. So I'm going to get hit a little bit, but I'm stopping him. So that was kind of a big surprise to me.
Did you find that interesting? Why is that?
Because we all know Mayweather is a defensive fighter, and then he makes you miss and look bad, and he'll counter you and you make you pay for making you miss, and he'll beat you up that way. But this time he said, you know what, I'm not running. I'm going to go head on with him. He's going to maybe land a few punches, but I'm going to stop him.
Do you believe him when he says his game plan is to go forward and then just go head on?
I think
Conor said that, and he said whoever takes the first step, we'll see whoever takes the first
You know what,
step.
Mayweather's gonna capitalize from round one early on. Maybe the first minute is gonna be a little bit tense because a lot of
Right.
Conor's gonna be very aggressive. Mayweather's gonna figure him out so quickly, in my opinion, that we will see from Conor going forward, we'll see the fight completely change within maybe a minute or 2 minutes, where Floyd puts him on the back foot and figured him out. And I think Floyd is gonna stick to the game plan of, you know what, watch Floyd. And I said this from the beginning. I said Floyd is gonna eventually find that rhythm where he puts that defense shoulder up, and he's gonna start walking Conor down.
Really?
That's what I said.
For me, with Mayweather, you never know what's going to be real and what's going to be not, because he's such a good businessman. To be good in this kind of business in this sport, you gotta sell the fight, and Floyd knows that he's gonna have to say stuff to make things sound more interesting. So, because everybody knows if he decides to play defense and move it, there's no chance Conor is gonna catch him. But if he says, you know what, I'm changing my game plan this time, it gets more people like, oh, maybe if he comes forward, it might change. But maybe he will do it, maybe he won't do it. But fight night will tell everything. So I mean, if he's lying about it, then he is. If not,
This is what I said. I said Floyd's gonna run. Floyd's gonna be on defense, opening belt because of the tension and the aggression from McGregor. Floyd's gonna be on the back foot. Conor McGregor is gonna be very aggressive. Floyd is gonna make him miss. That is gonna tire Conor McGregor out. And going into round 2, going into round 3, Conor is gonna realize, listen here, I'm tired. This is a whole different ballgame. Floyd is gonna see that the moment Conor is breathing heavy, Floyd's gonna see that, and that's when we're gonna see the game plan change, and Floyd's gonna actually walk him down, punish him. And I said the referee will stop this fight because it's taking too much punishment.
Julian, why are you in that percentage of like Max Kellerman that said that you don't see him landing one punch?
look, The reason why I don't, everybody's like, he's a puncher's chance. He could land a lucky punch. The
You
reason
have a
why,
lot of your friends saying that.
yeah, I got a lot of friends saying he could land a lucky punch. I want to let this be clear, that Floyd Mayweather at the elite class level he's at, there is no such thing as a lucky punch. People say, ooh, when Marquez knocked out Pacquiao, that was a lucky punch. That was not a lucky punch. He set that punch up beautifully. He's fought.
Look at the training camp.
Yeah, not only that, but he's fought 36 rounds with him. He knew that he likes to feint and jump in with a shot. He timed that overhand right beautifully. That is the similar class to what Floyd Mayweather is at. That elite level, there is no such thing as a lucky shot. So if Conor McGregor catches Floyd Mayweather, it's got to mean one of two things. Either Floyd made a mistake, which probably won't happen, or two, Conor McGregor set such a nice trap that Floyd has never seen before, and Floyd just walks into some trap that a guy who has 0 boxing fights set for him. I don't see Floyd falling into some novice trap. Or, I'm not, look, I like Conor McGregor, I'm not saying, but based on facts alone that he's 0-0, let's be real. He's not gonna set a trap for one of the greatest fighters of all time, the greatest of our generation to fall into, in my opinion.
Chris, what did you guys both make of the Paulie situation, him being in camp, the whole sparring thing?
I expected it, Johnny. To be honest.
Why?
Because of what happened with me. The way Conor and his team got to me by releasing footage after we said no footage is allowed to be released, and that I don't approve, and it's been done to me, and they edited footage, and it's been done to me after being very nice to me in my face. So when Paulie stepped into it, knowing the beef between Paulie and Conor that's been going on just before the sparring, I knew. I was like, you know what, this stuff is going to happen all over again, but I think Conor and them will learn from the mistake they made with me. Is I had footage as well, and I spoke to Paulie, and that's exactly it. Paulie wasn't allowed any cameras or any cameramen or anything in there, so they knew that Paulie doesn't have any footage. And I you know what, I like Conor. When it comes to the UFC, I'm really a Conor McGregor fan, but I expected it.
For me, Paulie, if you're watching this, you know we're boys, you know I love you, but bro, you should have known. You should have known that was gonna come. They made you spar 12 rounds, and look, those shots, of course you can land a shot on a guy who's out of shape in the 9th, 10th round, like that. You know what I'm saying? When a guy's fatigued and he's tired and he's big and he's overweight, you're not in it. You should have known. When you accepted the fact that you're gonna spar Conor and you know he's getting ready for the biggest fight of his life, bro, you should have been in shape too, because you knew they were gonna fucking film that for sure, and they were gonna release footage without a doubt. That was a very, very kind of easy trap to see, bro. You should have known that, and you should have been in really good shape if you were gonna go do that, because they're gonna try to embarrass you for what you said before. And I don't doubt that you outboxed him easy for the first 8, 9, 10 rounds, but when you're out of shape and you're tired, a novice anyone could hit you.
Here we go.
Anyone could hit you.
Chris, I don't know if you heard for the media day for Conor, you brought your name up.
Yeah, it brought my name up, and I listened to that. I listened to it as well, and they said, well, what happened? And from Conor's side, he said, we released footage.
Right.
I didn't release footage. The gym owners released footage. I phoned the gym owners. They said Conor gave them the thumbs up. I was in a space where I didn't know what to do. A few weeks later, Conor releases on Mac Live edited footage, and I still didn't do anything. And that's when I counterattacked with the real unedited footage.
Right.
After Conor McGregor released edited footage on the Mac Live, then I had no choice. I was advised, for my own good and for my career, to release the unedited footage and let people know that, you know what, this wasn't one-sided. Mm-hmm. And I heard Conor's interview, and he said he smacked me around. You know what, Julian was there, my coach was there.
Julian, what did you say?
Okay, well, let me explain something real quick. I wasn't there on the day that was filmed. That was the second day they boxed.
Okay.
The first day they boxed at the other Boxing Burn in Santa Monica. The second time, if anyone who knows anything about boxing and sparring, the second time you box someone, usually if there wasn't too much bad blood after the first time, it's usually a little bit calmer. It's usually like, oh, you guys are kind of like, oh yeah, what's up? You know, how you doing? Like, you guys have met each other.
Helping each other.
But every time it's the first time you guys box, it's like there's heat because it's like,
tension.
yeah, I mean, you want to know who's the alpha. And let me tell you, the first day it was very, very obvious who the alpha was in the boxing
We
ring.
cut his nose.
He cut him I remember in the first round, he came to me in the corner and he looked at me, he smiled, and I smiled back at him. And I nodded like, yeah, keep doing your thing. Second round, he cut him over the nose and he came back in the corner, and I swear on my life, I told him, all right, tone it down, help him. I swear on everything I love.
But already right there, we established that I am the better boxer. Better boxer.
Now let's just chill out.
Chill it out.
Yeah.
And then like I said, Conor was very, very nice to me. I was very, very nice to Conor. We were friends. Honestly, we were shaking hands, hugging, and that's when we set up the second sparring session.
Yeah.
But now, like Julian said, by the second sparring session, things were calmed
kind of
down.
buddies.
There we go. We were like, okay, now we're gonna move around. That's why you saw in the second footage, my hands were dropped. I was making, I was just having fun, and they took advantage of that, and they filmed it. But I had people filming as well because something inside of my head told me, after they approached me and said, can we film? And I said, no. Something said, you know what, just get your camera out and just film it for your own safety. And that's what we did. What goes around comes around. That's what I believe.
And why should he, just because Conor McGregor is the face of the UFC and like a popular fighter, let him do that to him, like as another fighter?
Disrespect me like that.
Why should he just keep his mouth shut? Fuck that.
What did you think about his power, Chris?
You know what? I'm going to say this again, and I know I'm not one guy that says what I think the people want to hear. I call a spade, and I'm going to say this: we had 16-ounce gloves on, we had headgears on. I was not fazed by his power at all. I wasn't, and I've been in the ring with a lot of guys that can hit, and I've been hit harder, way harder, by guys with 16-ounce gloves and headgear on. I was not fazed, so it's difficult for me to say what his power was like because honestly, I was not fazed, not at all.
I think a big reason why his power is so prominent, like so strong in the UFC, is because he boxes in MMA. He's a boxer. What he does is he boxes. When he knocks somebody down, he doesn't jump on them unless they're completely out. Then he hops on them. But he doesn't wrestle with them. When he drops them, he lets them get back up. That's boxing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you can just go in there and box. He has refined the ability to stuff a takedown, to defend a kick, but primarily what he does is box. And because I'm not disrespecting any MMA fighter, but the boxing level in MMA is very, very low. I know because I've seen it. They've come to wild card, the other wild card, when I was fighting and I was competing. I got thrown in there with a lot of those guys. And I mean, it was easy because this is not their craft. This is not their art. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why he's so destructive, I believe, in the MMA, because they don't see the traps that he's setting. They don't see the counter. They don't see the counters that Conor McGregor's boxing skills are showing.
His best punch is that counter left hand. He's very good at it. I'm going to give it that to him. Take nothing away from his counter left hand is pretty good, and I can see why with 4 ounce, like basically bare fist, why he's dropping these guys in the MMA. But then again, we've seen over and over and over, it doesn't take much for these MMA fighters, once they get tagged on the jaw, to go down. Where in a boxer's world, we are so trained every day when we spar, we get tagged on the jaw. So
right.
we're used to that. Where they are so I feel that they are so focused on the groundwork, on the kicking, on the grappling, on the wrestling, a little bit of boxing. Then they don't perfect one thing.
It's hard to.
It's hard to perfect one thing, and when they do get caught on the jaw, it's like a surprise to them. It's like, oh, and they go down so easy. That's funny.
And this is also, by no means, this doesn't make you not as tough. Yeah, this is this is no disrespect to MMA fighters. I have a lot of friends that are MMA. They are tough athletes, but it's just how it is. Experience carries everything. You know what I'm saying? Even like he said, taking a punch, there's experience factor to it. Learning how to take a little bit off it, roll with it just a little bit. These guys have not had an amateur boxing pedigree, amateur boxing like background where they had X amount of fights and learned how to do this. So it's not their fault that they're going down. It doesn't make them less tough. It doesn't make them less strong. It's just they don't know how to.
Coach Julian can agree with me or not, but I feel the massive difference between MMA fighters when it comes to boxing and boxers when it comes to boxing is we are trained to fight in combinations. We are trained to throw 4, 5, 6, 7 punches in a combination where MMA fighters are not trained to throw combinations. You go look at their fights, they throw 1-2s, they walk down like this, or it's a 1-2, or it's a 1, or it's a, they don't fight in combinations. And that's what separates them from boxers in the sense of skill is, let's take Conor McGregor versus Floyd. Floyd knows how to throw 6, 7, 8 punches in a combination and land them, where Conor maybe knows how to throw 1 and 2. That's it.
What did you think about his speed?
Well, his counter left hand was pretty good.
That's the one you said.
It's his timing.
That's his timing. His precision. Just pulls back. He did caught.
Kinda like Floyd does the pump back.
He did catch me with that maybe once or twice, but once we figured out that that's what he relies on, he didn't catch me with that again.
You know what's funny actually too is that watching Conor McGregor spar live, I can tell he studies Floyd. I can tell he studies Floyd.
Yeah,
a lot of the stuff he was trying to do with him,
yeah.
Even the pull counters, stuff like that, and like just
the shoulder roll.
He's taken a lot from Floyd Mayweather's game in boxing. He has.
And tries to be that.
He studies him.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
But good speed. By the time we were sparring, bad footwork and putting his chin out there, putting his body weight on his front foot, so he's right in your face, right there.
What do you mean his chin out? Can you explain to us?
Yeah. So for example, he'll do that. So all his body weight's on his front foot, and he'll lean in like that with his hands down. So all you have to do is just tag him. You know, for him to pull his head back, it was so easy for me to pull his head back because he was leaning right into me. And I've seen that in his public workout just now recently when they had the public workout. He was doing the same things. I think his biggest issue he's gonna have a problem with is that he's not a good liar. In the way where when Conor McGregor gets tired, it's so obvious when he's tired. He takes deep breaths. He can't hide it. That's also something you learn in boxing from a long time. You learn that you can't do that because a guy's gonna jump on you and beat the living shit out of you. When you show a sign of weakness, his body language isn't like this. You know, Floyd knows how to rest like this. Conor McGregor, when he gets tired, he puts his hands on his hips. He looks at the time. He does certain things like that. Whereas Floyd will pick up on every little thing he does.
Every little detail that's
not right. That shows that I'm tired. Floyd is going to capitalize on
inexperienced.
That. Lastly, can I get you guys' prediction for this fight? A very accurate prediction of how you think this fight will end. First with you.
I think that Floyd is going to knock him out.
How?
What punch? What round?
I could see a straight right hand, like right on the chin. First, it's gonna be really fast. He'll probably. I don't think he's gonna knock him like out cold. I think he may drop him, and he may like be close to finishing him, and the ref is gonna jump in. He'll be throwing a combination. I think Floyd drops him with the right hand. He gets back up. Conor McGregor, you can see in his face again because he's not a good liar. To be a good boxer, you gotta be a good liar. He's gonna get up, you're gonna see in his face, he almost doesn't wanna fight anymore, but he is a warrior, so he's gonna step forward when they ask him to come forward. Then when he comes forward and the time is in, Floyd's gonna jump on him, he's gonna get covered up like this, he's gonna take maybe 2 or 3 more good shots, and they're gonna wave it off. I'm predicting roughly the 5th or 6th.
By good liar, you mean body language, right?
Body language. No, not only that. You know, when you're tired, sometimes when you're fresh, that's the best to act tired because a guy will act reckless. You can land something good. When you're tired, actually tired, that's the best to act like you're not tired because it's gonna keep somebody off you. You know, a good boxer is a good liar. A good liar sets traps that you cannot see.
Feints.
Yeah, I mean you cannot see. A trap can't look like a trap. And a good liar is not going to be able, you know what I mean?
This is my prediction. Conor McGregor is going to come out wild, like he should. If I was advised him, come out with aggression.
He says 4 rounds.
Forget what you've learned from boxing. Be you. Don't try and fight. Don't try and show the world that you are now a boxer and you've transitioned over to, because Floyd will embarrass you. He's going to come out wild. Floyd's going to be on the back foot. Floyd's going to make him miss, make him look silly. And at times it doesn't attack. Floyd's going to step in, throw that nice jabs to the body, slow him down big time. Round 2, start off the same way. Conor's hands is going to drop. He's going to already forget about what he learned from boxing. So his hands is going to be down. He's going to come with his style. Floyd is going to tag him, start walking him down. I say this fight gets stopped between round 3. I want to say between round 3 and 5. TKO, Floyd.
And last topic I want to touch, Canelo versus Golovkin. A huge mega fight. Probably, for me, the fight I'm most looking forward to this year. Can I get your guys' thoughts on this fight?
Well, I've been fortunate to work with Canelo for 7 weeks as a sparring partner. I've never been hit as hard as by Canelo with 16-ounce gloves and headgear. But it's very, very strong. And obviously, he's learned so much more. I'm a big fan of both of them. I like both of them, but my money is on Canelo. I'm going to go points. Canelo points.
Okay, so when it comes to personality, it comes to like charisma, it comes to like the way he does things, I like Triple G more.
He's been here, right?
Yeah.
but
No,
what
and
a
he's
nice
a
guy.
great dude. He's a great dude.
Canelo too, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I've actually never met Canelo face to face, but
Really nice person.
based off of my just what I think about the fight, I think Canelo Alvarez wins. Because I think that Triple G's big equalizer, the only thing I believe he has over Canelo Alvarez is a lot of power.
Size.
For me, size and power. But for me, I think that Canelo is a lot better defensively. I think he's a lot sharper. He's got better combination punching. I think that I know that he's fought at a much higher level than Triple G has fought at. If you look at the last 15, 16 guys Canelo's fought, they're all names that you'll know.
Yeah.
And I just think that I'm a big skills guy. Size, all that stuff, yeah, it matters, but not to me as much as skills. And I know that Triple G has a big amateur pedigree, so you can't say he doesn't have the experience, but I don't think he has the kind of professional experience.
better from
because
ways
it's different.
now.
It's different. Amateur boxing and professional boxing is different. And I believe that Canelo has a lot more experience at a high level. I know that Canelo Alvarez has a much higher experience level in the professionals with Mayweather, Lara, even Sugar Shane Mosley, all these guys. He's gotten a chance to experience these looks. So for me, I think Canelo Alvarez.
Knockout of points.
Points. He's not knocking Triple G out.
You said he had the best power with 16 ounces that you
Man, the power is scary. That Canelo carries, it's scary. Now, I've never been hit by Triple G. I've never sparred with him. Met him, what a nice guy. But from my experience, the power Canelo carries, it's a lot.
It's not like Triple G can just walk in and just like take a shot from Canelo Alvarez.
Were you surprised when you got hit?
Yeah, I was surprised because I've never been hit that hard, and I've sparred a lot of guys. But when I got hit, I wasn't hurt or wobbled or dropped or anything. But the moment I got hit, I remember the first time my hand was up and I got caught on my arm, and it literally moved me in the ring. And I thought the thing that what was going through my head at that moment was, you better keep your hands up because you don't want to get caught with your hands down. Unbelievable power. Really unbelievable power.
My last question. How was the speed in the ring?
You could tell I was there 7 weeks. You could tell the difference between week 1 and fight week. His timing, his speed, beautiful, unbelievable, so amazing.
You know what?
No jokes.
Probably my favorite and most unique attribute that Canelo Alvarez kind of has is that his rhythm doesn't match his speed. And basically for people who don't know what I'm talking about, his rhythm's this kind of almost slow linebacker-ish, kind of like, I'm fucking lazy right now. But then when he decides to punch, it gets there.
That was exactly what happened in sparring as well. It would look like he's lazy and he would get off on him. And if you're not focused and you switch off for a second,
exactly what I'm talking about.
If you're not focused and you switch off for a second, Canelo's speed and his reaction from suddenly being from lazy to bah,
yes.
It is unbelievable.
That lazy kind of stuff gets you also sometimes into a lull where you get lazy.
Yeah.
And as soon as you turn off, he's on. A guy I actually sparred with a few times over the other wild card that's very, very similar, and I wish he'd come back because I'm a huge fan, is Frankie Gomez. He has the same thing where he kind of walks, he walks you, he waits for you to get flat, or he waits for you to turn off, he sees your eyelids do this, and he's on you in a heartbeat. Before you even know what happened, he's on you. So for me, Canelo's speed, that's what makes him so fast, is that it doesn't match his rhythm.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Julian, for your time. Oh, where can we find you guys on social media?
On his page.
Instagram is just Chris Van Heerden 001, and Twitter is The Heat 001.
No Twitter for me, but it's Julian_Chua, Chua.
Thank you.